Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Anthony or Big B Stats, and today I want to talk to you guys about a character called Mr. Stitchy. We have a bunch of secret notes that you may have not seen or missed. We also have some really cool Easter eggs that we're going to talk about as well that pertains to possibly this character and many others, and those secret spottings of Mr. Stitch throughout the chapters. But if you do enjoy today's video, remember to leave a like and share it, and also feel free to subscribe for more. And if you're new, and if you want to show your further support to me, you can always use star code BIGB2 when purchasing Robux or Premium. It's very much appreciated, and I thank every single one of you that uses my star code. So I'm super excited about this video because I'm going to throw a lot of theories out there, and I do look forward to hearing your comments and predictions on this character down below in the comments. So let's go ahead and start this out with Mr. Stitchy. How do we get Mr. Stitchy? Who is Mr. Stitchy? So Piggy got a brand new Halloween update, and there was a secret skin and also a trap that got released, which we brought you guys tutorials on how to do that. So if you do want to know how to unlock Mr. Stitchy, please check the video down below in the description after this video and go through that tutorial and get the skin, because this is limited time only. Also, I would suggest getting the trap as well, as it's a tombstone trap and it's a brand new mechanic and it is awesome. I don't want to spoil it too much, but again, make sure to check those tutorials out after today's video so you can actually unlock that before this expires in Piggy, which means you will not be able to get it after a certain period of time. So this new character that was introduced was Mr. Stitchy. Now, to unlock Mr. Stitchy, you had to collect some candles in forest, you had to place them, and then you had to light them on fire, and then it would summon Mr. Stitchy. Now, Mr. Stitchy appears to be like a teddy bear, at least. Now, I'm also going to debunk a theory as well with this, because a lot of people are also thinking that this character, Mr. Stitchy, is possibly a teddy bear from Peppa Pig, but we do find out that it is actually not, because there's also a teddy in Peppa Pig right there, and you kind of feel like, you know, okay, maybe this is based off of this character, but it actually turns out to not be based off of this character. So there was a message out by Minitoon, and Minitoon said that this character, Mr. Stitchy, is actually based off of a skin from one of his older SCP games, but it's been like a piggyfied version. So look at this character here. Looks exactly like Mr. Stitchy. However, again, this was like one of his old characters that he created, and he pretty much implemented this character into Piggy. So hopefully that answers some of your questions about where this character kind of comes from at all. And I think the way he kind of transitioned this character in is also quite awesome. Now, there's also two type of things I want to talk about in this as well. Now, another thing that it was also limited time only was the distorted memory map. Remember that? Yes, we saw the red eyes in distorted memory, and now we have another limited time, and look who kind of comes back. Like, guess what else is just something here for a limited time? Mr. Stitchy. So I also want to throw out, do you think the red eyes that was in the backyard of distorted memory house is the same eyes before maybe losing one of Mr. Stitchy? The way they are round and kind of from a distance, they do look exactly the same. I am aware that those eyes do look like pony eyes infected. However, this would really make sense if it had to be like Mr. Stitchy's eyes. So let's start out with some of the Easter eggs and things that we see from the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. Let's go and get this started. So if you start out with book 1, chapter 1, you will see Mr. Stitchy, yes, right there on top of the house in the corner during the very first cutscene. Now, this was very sneaky as well, and also very scary, just to see a shadow figure kind of just standing there with one red eye and one white eye, because one of the white eyes are actually missing because Mr. Stitchy has been pretty much sewed together. So this is a cutscene that we see that Mr. Stitchy is in. I would say the very first cutscene if you start out with book 1, and then when you also in the chapter as well. So when you escape, Mr. Stitchy is still there, as you can see, still on the roof, and that is all the sightings that I believe for Mr. Stitchy in book 1, chapter 1, the house. Now, the next map that we actually see Mr. Stitchy in happens to be the forest. Well, we actually don't see him in the forest at least, but I'm gonna go down these chapters in order, and I'm also gonna read off all the notes that we have as well. So let's first cover up some of the sightings as well, but here we go. So let's start this out with chapter 4. We have our very first note here as well, which is, do not draw the house with light. It will draw him too. So I'm assuming they are talking about Mr. Stitchy, and Mr. Stitchy somehow seems to be attracted to light. So bear that in mind and do not forget that. So there we have it. That is the note that we see in forest. There's also a total of about 4 notes that we found in this. So we're gonna roll into another note right now, and this is going to be in the school. Then I'm also gonna talk about all the notes and tie them together as well. So let's go on to our second spot of seeing Mr. Stitch, and that is in the school. If you look outside the glass, you can see Mr. Stitchy standing right there outside of the glass. Very, very creepy, just standing there looking at you. You can also get like another angle from up top and see him as well. Now, we also found a note in school, which I think a lot of people actually missed. It's at the very end, and it says, I gave him a face. I was his only friend. So whoever like knows Mr. Stitchy, or whoever is the owner of Mr. Stitchy, or maybe found Mr. Stitchy, let's just say like they found this bear and, you know, it was already, let's say, ran over or something and just kind of tore to pieces, pretty much with, you know, kind of like cotton coming out of it. And then they found them, gave him a face, sewed them together, and kind of brought him to life. So whoever this is, which we'll talk about who this could possibly be as well, said they gave him a face and they were his only friends. So that is a note that we see in school right there, which I thought was really, really awesome and very sneaky too at that one. So there we have it. Now let's go ahead and go into our next note that we see, and that's in Carnival. So Carnival actually has 2 notes there, and one of them says, if you look behind, I believe this is the Ferris wheel, one of the rides, it says, someone began to disrupt the countryside. The descriptions of witnesses matched his look. I never saw him again. Now this is very interesting, guys, and that's also going to play into the character that we think is the owner of Mr. Stitchy, because it looks like Mr. Stitchy is now on the loose and is being spotted. So that is where this is kind of coming into play. Now let's go ahead and check out another note that's in Carnival. If you look behind, like pretty much where you're going to exit, and this one says, when he learned of my condition, he grew sad and frustrated. He left. Now, I'm going to stop right here and think about this for a second. So there's 2 characters that I'm also playing into mine. I also had a discussion with some friends about this as well. The first theory that I'm thinking about right now, when we just read this one note. So when he learnt of my condition, he grew sad. Now, who is one person that we actually know is sick that we have not seen? If I had to say there's 2 characters, there's actually 3 characters that we really have not seen at all. And those characters are Mrs. P, Mr. Stitchy, and Penny. So at this point, we don't know if Penny has actually had a condition at all. We do know that Mrs. P has a condition, but however, if I had to think about 2 characters, like if I had to say like, okay, who would be more likely to have Mr. Stitchy or a bear? I would lean more towards Penny than I would Mrs. P, because I feel like it wouldn't make sense. Although, what if those 2 were missing and those 2 end up bumping into each other and becoming friends? So again, who knows about that one? But I think Penny is the possible owner of Mr. Stitchy, and Mr. Stitchy has ran away, or something happened to Penny and then now has gone away too. So yeah, this is just very interesting. They're not together anymore, shall I say. Also in Carnival, you can spot Mr. Stitchy as well on the ride in the back, as you can see right there. So there are some really cool sneaky spottings of Mr. Stitchy around the map, ladies and gentlemen. So what we have now is a total of 4 notes. Yes, a total of 4 notes around these chapters, and we've checked every chapter. Let me know if there's any notes that I actually missed on this one, but we did thoroughly check through the chapters. There's also a spot of Mr. Stitchy in the alley as well. In the alleyway, you can see Mr. Stitchy back there too. And that's in the alley is where you unlock the tombstone trap. So something to bear in mind there. But it's very interesting here. So again, we have these notes. Again, we know that Mr. Stitchy is drawn to light. We know that Mr. Stitchy feels things, okay? Mr. Stitchy actually has feelings, can grow sad and frustrated. So we know that Mr. Stitchy has a heart. Let's just say that at least. We also know that Mr. Stitchy is on the loose somewhere. And yeah, like people are actually spotting Mr. Stitchy everywhere. And we also know that Mr. Stitchy is based off of an older game that Minitoon had. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I think that Penny is the owner of Mr. Stitchy. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Do you think Mr. Stitchy maybe ran into Mrs. P as well? And bear in mind, remember at the end of Distorted Memory, Penny is the one that kind of goes away and kind of like leaves. So we still have that mystery of Penny who popped up in the Distorted Memory map. And I almost want to say, was Distorted Memory out last year Halloween? And now it's like this year Halloween? I don't know. No, or maybe not. Let me know about that, you guys, because these years have just gone by so quick, at least. And I don't think it's actually been a year at all. But I know Distorted Memory did come out at such a kind of a scary point, I thought, at least. So let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know what you guys thought of this as well. But thank you all so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like and share. And again, also feel free to subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. And again, if you want to show your further support to me, you can always use star code BIGB2 when purchasing Robux or Premium. But I look forward to hearing your thoughts on Mr. Stitchy down below in the comments. If we do make another video, I will feature some of your comments in that next video. So if you have some good theories, make sure to comment them down below. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!